If you use Google Charts, I've got a trick to show you.
I built bots before they were cool.
In a prior video, I made the following statement.
AI replaces the connective tissue that makes ideas expensive.
And I think what I'm going to demonstrate to you now is a pretty good example of just that. What we're going to do is we are going to present a description of a database table to ChatGPT, and it is going to create for us a fully formed PHP program that uses a Google chart. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Google Charts, but if you're not, you probably should be. What they are is a collection of charts that are accessible through an API. For example, GeoChart. This is one I just started using. I had a bunch of subscribers from around the world and I wanted to plot their locations. This is a really convenient way of doing it. All of these charts have a very similar interface. There's an area where they include the JavaScript. There's an area where they format the data, which looks like they're doing it in a series of JSON arrays. And then there's the area where the chart is actually instantiated. But all of these charts are used in a very similar way. I use the combo chart fairly often. We're going to be using a line chart today. Another one of my favorites is the pie chart. These gauges are something that I've only recently started using because with AI, you're able to gauge the popularity of things, if something is positive or negative on a scale of 1 to 10. This is a great way of displaying that kind of information. The table chart is also interesting because it provides very easy ways of doing things like sorts and just nice formatting. So here's how we're going to start. I have a database table called fuel consumption that tracks the fuel consumption for 3 vehicles. Basically, it's the capture date, it's the amount of fuel that they used, and the distance that they traveled. What I want to do is describe this table's schema. So I am going to do a describe command, and this is the way it would look in MySQL. Basically, this describes how the table is structured. Now I'm going to upload not the schema, but that picture of the schema to ChatGPT. And I'm going to say, using the schema described in the uploaded file, please create a one-page PHP program that collects the vehicle mileage data from the described table and display the table data one car at a time in a Google line chart. Please display useful mileage information in a tooltip. Use a monochromatic graphic style. A couple things I included there. I always request one file. I want a one-file solution. Otherwise, it's apt to give you a CSV file, a JavaScript file, a PHP file, and it just makes it so much easier to manage if you use one file. I made a suggestion for a graphic style, and this is what it gives you. All right, as you can see here, we have vehicle number 3 loaded, and this is the chart, and the tooltip is also working. The tooltip is nice because it makes debugging your data a lot easier. We can look at another vehicle. Let's go look at vehicle number 2, and there's vehicle number 2, and it looks just fine. Okay, next step. I want to display all 3 vehicles in the same chart. Again, I will upload the image that describes that table along with the original file that it created as a reference. And I'm going to say, using the schema described in the uploaded file and the uploaded PHP file as a reference, please create a one-page PHP program that collects the vehicle mileage data from the described table and display the table data for all 3 vehicles in a Google line chart. Use the colors orange, green, and yellow to designate vehicles. Also, do not plot unavailable data and show contiguous lines for each vehicle. One of the things that I've learned, because in this particular case, what it would try to do is it would plot the vehicles based on the date, and since they don't have contiguous date lines, they're all on separate timelines, they'll plot little dots because they're not able to do the interconnects. So describing it this way solves that problem. And you can see this is what our final chart looks like. And we got our tooltips working. We have all 3 at the same time, and our colors look fine. Something that I maybe would have done is I would have asked for more contrast on the label here, but by and large, I'm pretty happy with this. I have come to the point where anytime I need to build a database query of any complexity, I will upload the schema to ChatGPT and then describe what I want the data output to look like. And this has worked really, really well for me, especially in cases where you're using multiple inner and outer joins or case statements, those kinds of things. The kinds of queries you're able to come up with are absolutely amazing. So this is one of many ways that I use AI to assist or augment what I'm doing as a programmer. The hard part here isn't connecting the Google Chart API to a database. I mean, that's easy. That's just busy work. But that's also where the most time-consuming part is. That is the friction in ideas. This kind of stuff makes me much more productive, and I have far less friction in my work. Like and subscribe, maybe buy a book. Thanks, I appreciate it.